As a band, what was the mindset, independently or collectively, of Toto going into Toto 4? You had a big budget. You had something to prove.
We did, because the albums following the first album, which went double platinum, one sold Hydra, ended up actually selling 900,000 copies. And I think it went gold, actually. But that took a lot of time for that. And then the album after that, because we were gearing up for live shows, and we were interested in making music on our records that would reflect live, heavy-duty rock and roll performances. So that's when Turn Back came about, and everybody was we were jamming in rehearsal halls. And the Toto 4 thing happened. The record company came to us and said, listen, you guys had a couple of hits on the first album, but we haven't got anything from you since then, and we're going to give you one more chance to do one more album, and we'll see how that goes. It was make or break.
Wow.
You know?
Holy cow.
So I went home and started writing the song Rosanna, because I wanted to put every piece of information I knew from Quincy Jones, George Martin, anybody I'd worked with, I wanted to get it into one song. So I ended up writing that song, and we cut that right here with the piano here. I remember the change we had made on the bass sound was we'd work with Chris Squire from Yes, and he was using a Marshall on his bass. So we turned Hungate onto that. And then what happened with Rosanna was Hungate started playing through a Marshall on that.
No kidding.
Yeah, with his pick. Because you could hear that pick sound, you know? And so that was, once we got Rosanna down and almost finished, we were able to bring in the head of Sony, CBS at the time. And they heard that, and they gave us the thumbs up, the green light. Yeah.
I was living with David at the time, and that was the first song you wrote for the fourth album.
I remember you, because you walked in with that girl that had a name that I needed for a song.
Where'd you meet Rosanna Arquette at?
I met her at our friend James Newton Howard's wedding.
Holy cow.
At a wedding, yeah.
Which wedding?
What day?
It was James's which wedding? He's joking, of course.
Yes.
It was to Windy.
To Windy. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went home to David and gave him...
Rosanna and I eventually got together, and I'd brought her. I was living with David. I'd been living with David since about around the time of the Hydra album.
Yeah.
And I had learned with our engineer, we brought in a guy named Jeff Workman for our third album. And I actually didn't get along with Jeff while we were making the record. We kind of bumped heads while we were making the record. But after the record, Jeff was instrumental in teaching me about gain structure with the Flexi mix we had at the Manor. He kind of, I asked him, why couldn't they use, if I recorded myself, if I had a 24 track, which we all of a sudden had, why couldn't they use my stuff? If I, came up with some magic at 3:00 in the morning when no one was around and I wanted to record what I had going on with those big modular synths or something like that, just in case. And he was incredibly patient and totally taught me all about gain structure and just how to get decent level. And I never touched EQ or compression, but it was an amazing lesson. So we were working I was living and working at David's all that time, and I brought her over to meet David, to meet my brother David, and
I had everything but the title.
We were kind of all taken by her. She was
quite
a muse, and she's been a muse for a lot of musicians, and I mean that in the best possible way. And she was a lover of music always, and was very inspiring to us all.
Wow.